I am 92 years old. I have outlived my wife. I have outlived my friends. I have outlived my enemies. And somewhere along the way, I also outlived the version of myself who cared deeply about what other people thought. I am standing at the very edge now. I can see the bottom clearly. And before I step over, I need to turn back and speak to you. The ones still standing behind me, still laughing at the party, still pretending this moment will never end. Because from where I stand, I can see something you can't. You are living a lie. You walk through your days wrapped in a comfortable arrogance, convinced that time is on your side. You treat your hours like spare change, like there will always be more where they came from, like your account will never run dry. I am here to tell you the truth. You are already running on debt. We are all going to die. You know this in your head, but you don't know it in your bones. You haven't felt its weight press against your throat. If you had, you would not be living the way you are living now. Let me tell you about a man named Jack. It was 1968. Jack was my closest friend. He was sharper than me, better looking than me, richer than me. He moved through life like a predator who always knew where the next win was coming from. One night we were drinking together, celebrating a massive deal he had just closed. He leaned back in his leather chair, Cuban cigar in hand, smiling like a man who believed he had beaten the system. He looked at me and said, 5 more years. That's it. I grind for 5 more years. I hit my number, then I'm done. Then I take Mary to Italy. Then I learn to paint. Then I start living. Jack had a plan. He had everything mapped out. 3 days later, he walked out of his office building, clutched his chest, and collapsed onto the sidewalk before he even understood what was happening. Massive heart attack, 42 years old. He never saw Italy. He never painted a single stroke. I stood at his funeral looking down at his body, and I realized something painful. The tragedy wasn't that Jack died. We all die. The tragedy was that Jack spent his entire life preparing to live. He treated his days like a waiting room, convinced that real life was scheduled to begin later. Later never came. A week after he died, I went to his office to clear his desk. His calendar was full for the next 6 months. His inbox was overflowing with urgent messages. The world did not pause for Jack. His company replaced him in 2 weeks. His clients forgot his name within a year. And when I look at you now, I see Jack everywhere. I hear the same lies. I'll be happy when I get the promotion. I'll take the trip when the kids are older. I'll forgive him when he apologizes. Listen carefully. From a 92-year-old man who has already reached the end. There is no later. There is only now. And if you keep trading your now for a future that is not promised, you are making the worst gamble of your life. Let's talk about your possessions. I watch your generation worship accumulation. You buy things you don't need, with money you don't have, to impress people you don't even like. I live in one small room now. I have a bed, a chair, a single photograph of my wife. I once had a large house, expensive cars, a garage full of toys. And I am telling you this with the clarity that only the end provides. None of it mattered. Every last bit of it was noise. I have attended more funerals than I can count. I have never seen a U-Haul following a hearse. When you die, your children will pay a stranger to empty your house. 90% of what you treasured will be dumped into a container. The rest will be sold for pocket change. That is the final accounting of your material success. Future trash. So ask yourself why you are destroying your body to afford it. Why you are working 60 hours a week, missing your child's childhood, to pay for a car that spends its life sitting in traffic. It is madness. You just won't recognize it until you are sitting where I am. And by then, there are no refunds. Let me tell you about what I once thought was my greatest victory. It was 1979. I won Businessman of the Year in my city. Black tie banquet, applause, cameras. I felt invincible, like I had finally won the game. I went home that night, holding the trophy. The house was dark. My wife Eleanor was asleep. My children were asleep. I sat alone at the kitchen table, drinking scotch, staring at that piece of glass. And that's when it hit me. The applause was already gone. The people at that banquet didn't love me. They loved what I could do for them. The people upstairs, the ones who truly loved me, I had neglected them to earn applause from strangers. I missed my son's games to stay late at the office. I missed anniversaries to close deals. And for what? That trophy is buried in a box somewhere. I don't even know where it is. But the look in my wife's eyes when I told her I wouldn't make it home for dinner, that memory never left. That one stayed. You believe your career is your legacy. It isn't. It's a transaction. You are selling pieces of your life, hours you will never recover, to build someone else's empire. If you died today, your job would be posted before your obituary. Do not kneel at the altar of your career. It will never love you. It will never sit beside you when the room goes quiet. So what remains? If money lies, careers replace you, and possessions decay, what actually matters? Only this: what you gave, the love you offered, the time you shared, the moments of real connection. Now, when I sit alone, I don't replay deals or achievements. I replay slow Sunday mornings with Eleanor. I replay my daughter's laugh when she was small. I replay helping a stranger push his car out of the snow. That is the only wealth that survives. So here's my challenge to you. Strip your ego down to nothing. You are terrified of embarrassment, so you never risk anything. You don't try, you don't ask, you don't begin. Let me free you from this illusion. No one is watching. Everyone is too busy worrying about themselves. You are only the main character in your own head. Stop letting imagined judgment steal your life. Those opinions will be buried alongside the people who hold them.